Today's hot topic, sexual harassment. Sexual harassment has been a hot topic lately. What is sexual harassment? Sexual harassment, by its legal definition, is unwelcome, verbal, visual, or physical conduct of a sexual nature that is severe or pervasive and affects working conditions or creates a hostile work environment. Although the definition is black and white, there are many gray areas. Verbal examples include comments about clothing, personal behavior, or a person's body, sexual or sexual-based jokes, requesting sexual favors, or repeatedly asking a person out and making sexual innuendos. It can also be physical, for instance, assault, impeding or blocking movement, inappropriate touching of a person or a person's clothing, kissing, hugging, or patting. It can even be nonverbal, looking up and down a person's body, derogatory gestures or facial expressions of a sexual nature, and following a person can all be construed as sexual harassment. The federal law prohibiting sexual harassment in the workplace is Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, and for this reason is stressed in the workplace. Under Title VII, covered employees must take reasonable care to prevent sexual harassment and take reasonable care to promptly correct sexual harassment that has occurred. There are no specific actions an employer must take to satisfy the requirement that it take reasonable care to prevent or stop sexual harassment. An employer may satisfy the requirement by having and distributing to employees a policy prohibiting sexual harassment and informing employees how to make a complaint.
Despite all the precautions businesses take to prevent sexual harassment and how informed employees are on the seriousness of sexual harassment, it still occurs. And when it happens in sports or in a highly public manner, it gets brought to our attention. There have been numerous cases reported lately involving famous athletes, Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant, Eddie Curry, and Brent Favre, just to name a few. Brent Favre has been accused of sexual harassment by two different parties. Two former Jets massage therapists are claiming that they were not offered work with the Jets organization after they refused sexual advances made by Favre via text message. And in October 2010, reports surfaced on the website Deadspin that NFL quarterback Brent Favre was alleged to have sent Sturger several suggestive text messages and voicemails asking her to come to his hotel room and explicit photos of himself while he was a quarterback for the New York Jets, while she was a sideline reporter. The league said it was the sole focus on whether Favre violated workplace conduct policy, not to make judgments about the appropriateness of personal relationships. Favre admitted to sending voicemails, not images, to Sturger. He was later fined $50,000 for failure to cooperate with the investigation. The NFL stated that it could not conclude that Favre had violated the personal conduct policy and that there was not sufficient evidence to establish if Favre had sent those photos.
I have prepared a statement and questions will be accepted at the end. What Mr. Favre did was inexcusable. Not only was it unprofessional, it was lewd and unsolicited. I enjoy my work as a sports analyst, and I am bothered that this industry is letting big-name athletes, such as Brent Favre, get away with such blatant displays of harassment. I feel that the NFL merely gave him a slap on the wrist. This is a big step backward for sports in general.
First of all, I'd like to apologize to Ms. Sturger for confusing the situation and mistaking my kindness for sexual harassment. I was just trying to make her feel welcome. I also think this whole situation has been blown out of proportion. I would like all the attention to be focused away from my personal life and back on the game.
Brett, what were your intentions contacting Ms. Sturger, and do you have any comments regarding these allegations?
I think this whole situation has just gotten out of hand. I was just trying to be nice, and I think she just blew it way out of proportion.
Why did it take you so long to come out with these allegations against Brent Favre?
So the reason it took me a while to actually speak up was because I didn't want to jeopardize my career. But after the seriousness just got out of control, I thought it would be smart for me to speak up and allow for other people to relate to the situation I'm facing.
Ms. Sturger, how has this situation affected your career?
So it has impacted my career negatively, just the fact that no one would want to hire someone that has been involved in such a big scandal. It has put a big impact on my career.
So these are major allegations that have been brought about by Ms. Sturger onto Brent Favre. They also shed a negative light on the NFL Commission in general. Why would she wait so long to come forward? And is she just using this as a ploy to further her own career? Or are there going to be 10 more women in the next few months that come up against Brent Favre and say, oh, he made a pass at me, he sent me text messages?
well, why does she have to wait? Why is there a certain time period to wait? The accusations were true. He said that he was the one that did send these messages.
But who's saying that they weren't innocent? Who's saying that he wasn't just trying to make her feel comfortable and feel like she was a part of the team by interacting with her, you know, a big star interacting with the massage therapist that would otherwise, you know, be traveling on the road alone?
Well, why does it if she feels that she was threatened or sexually harassed, then it is sexual harassment. It's quid pro quo, and if she feels like what if she felt like if she hadn't, you know, responded to his advances, then what if she'd been fired? You know, he has a huge impact on the Jets, and what if she was fired? Then it's definitely sexual harassment.
I just know that if I were to be approached in a way that made me feel uncomfortable in order to make my point seem valid, I would have come forward. I would have said, hey, that's not right. I would have taken it straight to the NFL Commission. I wouldn't have waited around for a year and a half before even putting it into the public. These are serious allegations that are affecting his career as well as the Jets as a whole. So I would have come forward and said, hey, we need to address these issues. Now it just looks like, hey, I can't get work. I'm going to throw this out there and see where it gets me.
I don't think that's at all. I think that he should be held responsible no matter how long she waited to come forward, because if he did this to her and sexually harassed her, then he should pay just like anybody else in a workplace situation that harasses another employee or coworker.
And he's agreed that he did do the text messages and the voicemails. The voicemails are obviously him. But as far as the lewd pictures, it just becomes back to that gray area where we've both agreed earlier that there are so many different gray areas that would have to be addressed. Is asking someone to hang out inappropriate?
Well, no, but if she construes it as if she doesn't hang out with him, what's going to happen to her career or her job, then it is inappropriate.
Yeah, like I said, we agreed that, and we'll agree to disagree, that there are so many gray areas in the subject of sexual harassment. What is allowed? What isn't allowed? Where should the NFL Commission step in? Where should a job in general step in and say, hey, that's not okay, and we need to, protect our employees, no matter if it is a big-name star making these allegations.
True. Okay, we'll agree to disagree.
Fine.
Yeah.